The Netherlands is ready to drop control of Nexperia if China resumes the chip export of critical chips. That is what all the news outlets and so many influencers are saying. But is it true? This is your favorite half Chinese, and that is the whole truth. Anyway, let's go into this article. November 7, the Dutch government is ready to shelve the order that gave it power to block or change key corporate decisions at chipmaker Nexperia if China resumes export of critical chips, Bloomberg News reported on Friday, citing people familiar with the matter. And once you start reading that, citing people familiar with the matter, you should think of another phrase. Citing anonymous sources. And you directly need to be, is this true or not? Let's just not take it at face value. And what is the first thing that you will have to do right then and after? You guessed it! You go to Mr. Fong and you will see what is really going on. Anyway, we're going to do one more line and then we go on to what is really going on. Reuters could not immediately verify the report. Nexperia did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. All right? So, I went on Baidu, typed it in Chinese, as you can see. Oh no, you cannot see it, but I did. And then I translated it so I can also actually read, and you also can read with me. So here it says, yes, China has recovered Nexperia, Anshe Semiconductor. The export of chips following are the specifics. Now this is a translation, so some grammatic things will not be up to date. According to the latest progress in November 2025, China's Ministry of Commerce made it clear on November 6 that it has approved the eligibility requirements. Semiconductor export license application grant exemptions to related enterprises to promote Anshe China resumption of supply. So Anshe is same as Nexperia. I hope everybody understood that. Several car manufacturers have confirmed that the relevant chips have begun to ship to Europe, including Volkswagen, BMW, Honda. The supply chain of other brands has been gradually restored. Now this is important to understand what is really going on, right? Did the Netherlands drop or not drop control? So the conditions and limitations. The recovery is not a full release, but a valve-type control. The following conditions must be met for export: compliance with security review and compliance requirements. Key technologies or decision-making powers are still regulated in the Netherlands. The settlement currency may be limited to RMB. So this is something what people normally would read over, but did you guys all hear that? The settlement currency may be limited to RMB. China is using this whole problem to its advantage. I must tell you, the government in China, these people are literally genius in making a bad situation becoming a favorable situation for them. Because what will this do? Well, for one, euro is not going to you're not be able to use the euros to pay them. You're not being able to use the dollar to pay them. And while you are paying them in RMB, you are strengthening their currency. So it's quite genius. And then it's just the background and impact everybody already knew. So let's go on to what China had to say. That is why I had my headphones on. And then you can let me know what you think. Are they correct or incorrect?
何方不当干预安氏半导体内部事务的做法，造成了全球半导体产供链的动荡和混乱。荷兰政府不顾中方多次在磋商中提出的合理诉求，没有展示出建设性态度和行动，且升级全球供应链危机。
So this is very important. So they has further escalated the global supply chain crisis. So they are literally blaming the Netherlands for it because they started this whole problem, which was unnecessary and honestly overreach.
何方应承担全部责任。
And the Netherlands should bear
中方
responsibility.
本着对全球半导体产供链稳定与安全的负责任态度，已及时批准中国出口商的相关出口许可申请，并对符合条件的出口予以豁免，努力促进安氏半导体中国恢复供货。中方希望何方从维护中俄、中欧经贸关系大局和全球产供链稳定与安全的角度出发，以负责任的态度与中方相向而行，停止干涉企业内部事务，为安氏半导体问题找到建设性的解决方法。
So yeah, they literally are schooling the Netherlands on their behavior. Yes, they were wrong. It is almost, he almost talks like a dad will talk to its kid when the kid has done something wrong. Not that I ever knew of, because I always was a good kid. Nah, I always was the rebel in the family and the black sheep. Anyway, that's for another story. Let me know in the comment section what you all think of this. Do you think that China is right to say that it is the Netherlands to blame in this case, that there was a choking in the chip supply? Because obviously it was China who said we're not going to export, but if the whole cost wasn't there, then China also would not have taken that action. And that is what it's all about, right? When we are analyzing things, you always must analyze the history of events. And this is something that I want to dive way, way deeper in, especially for the Western people to understand, because somehow the Western people don't think that you need to know the history, and a lot of times they view everything as an isolated event, right? Oh, China stopped shipping, so it's their fault. No, if the cause wasn't there, China wouldn't be doing that, right? This is how things are going. And if the United States not have told the Netherlands, maybe the Netherlands wouldn't have done that, right? I say maybe. Can't sue me for that. Anyway, let me know in the comment section what you all think of it. But I think that, yes, just that I saved that for another video. Please like, share, and if you have not yet, then follow. Also, for yeah, that's actually it. All I have to say now is have a great day. Your favorite half Chinese.